UFC there then last week with Masvidal and.
Do you know what?
Do you watch it?
I don't really.
Not really
watch you. I'm not getting into it. I'm getting into it a little bit more and all that. I don't know. I'm a casual UFC fan. See, I only know a couple of them and all that. I haven't got deep into it.
1.3 million pay-per-view buys.
Unbelievable.
$60.
Well, I'll tell you something. And that is going to should give this sport a kick up the arse, really, in boxing. But the UFC concepts it's all under one banner, isn't it?
Yeah, under one banner.
So. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot easier to make the big fights.
They make them and they throw them out one after the other.
Yeah.
I mean, Masvidal, he's like the paper, you know, like the poster boy.
Yeah.
Usman's the champion. And then you've got Kobe Covington. You've got Nate Diaz. Do you know what I mean? All these guys, they throw one after the other. They put the biggest fights on.
Well, that's refreshing, though, anyway. Do you know what I mean? So, but. I know this is what I think that this sport is. We need to inject it. We need a lot more people to.
What's stopping that in boxing?
Oh, you know, there's more. So I mean, UFC is it one broadcaster?
It's under America? Yeah. Well, they got Bellator, so you got UFC is obviously the leading way. Then they got the Bellator, which is the rival.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's doing really, really well as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but they got a lot of the older UFC fighters in there.
Okay, so that's just it.
They spend a lot of money on it, though.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, it's a lot easier when you've got one banner, one TV network, and all the fighters under one banner.
Yeah.
And it can be done. But you know what, though? Saying that, I've seen it over this country. You've got fighters that have been under one banner before, and the fights have never been made. So I don't know what it is. I know the work to going into making a big fight.
There's a lot of work into one fight.
There is a lot of work because there's a lot of egos in there. You know what I mean? You know what? You can't
please everyone.
You can't please everyone. You got the fighters who don't want to have one penny less than the other one. Someone thinks they're worth more than others, and then you can show them the statistics for them, and they still be in denial and say no. This is what I want and all that, and they try and hold promoters and all that for ransom and all that. But do you know what? At the end of the day, with the promoters, it's a business at the end of the day, and if it's not going to make sense for for their business, then the fights ain't going to be made. But then sometimes you do have to take a punt if there's a fight that the public are crying out for, and sometimes you're going to lose money on it, but then you will benefit in hindsight into the future with it after that. You know what I mean? So you could bet on your fight. It's like say Dubois and Joyce or something like that. 50-50 fight. They're getting paid a lot of money and they're going to be on pay-per-view and all that. But listen, they've both never been on pay-per-view before, so it's a huge risk what they're doing.
Exactly.
But in the long run, whoever's going to win that fight is going to go on to do that, and it's the same thing.
It'll be leading the way, won't they?
Of course it is. I remember who was the one before? Cole Froch fighting Lucian Bute. And to be fair, they had to put that fight on. That was on pay-per-view.
Didn't sell well, did it?
Didn't sell well, but then he went on to win and look at the pay-per-views.
George Groves and
exactly.
blah blah.
You do take a punt on it, and
do you think we'll see it? Obviously, what we're going through now, would that stop these big fights from happening in the long run?
I don't think so, because you are going to get some sort of crowd back, and you know, people are dying out for it. But I mean, people are going to moan. So say you might get a fight that's going to. You go, right, you can put a big fight on, but you do need a crowd for it. So it might be where you would have a 20,000 crowd. You might say, right, you can only have 3,000. But the ticket prices are going to go up because, listen, promoters have to cover their money to do that. And I know people are moaning about it. Oh, this should be behind closed doors. This should be that. This should be that. But you think, all right then, but like, do you know what I mean? You got all these people. Risking their businesses, risking their money and all that. They're taking a risk for that, and you know what I mean. Potentially, like if you put if it was Tyson Fury with Deontay Wilder, it'd never work behind closed doors. You could bankrupt the promotional company doing that. Do you know what I mean?
You're right.
The logistics not going to work. They want to get paid well, and you have to have the gate revenue. You've got to have the gate revenue for these big fights.
Can you see that happening this year? I can't see that.
Yeah, I think it will. But
December time?
I would be surprised if it. I mean, what have they got now? December in Las Vegas. But listen, like you say, you just don't know.
You just don't know what's going to happen.
What's going to happen?
Are
we going to get a second spike?
Exactly. Yeah.
Are we going to do this? Is things going to be open and all that? I think the viable option that they're probably going to have a look at is other countries that less, say like America, which is probably the most riddled to it because it's got the most population or something like that. But they've just got to look at areas where the pandemic's not hit it as much and all that, and we need the
probably Saudi Arabia or Abu Dhabi because that's where they're doing the UFC at the moment.
Exactly.
In that part of the world.
Yeah, I mean,
or Australia.
Listen, you've seen them pump the money into the fights now, and do you know what? To be honest with you, they're going to do that in the future. They've got the money to do it. And they want to build their tourism up on their in their countries. It makes sense for them to bid for fights like that. And do you know what? Some fans ain't gonna like it. I don't like it. Ideally, I want all the fights. To be here because I want to go to them. I don't. Do you know what I mean? Like for Saudi Arabia and all that. You think every fight could be in Saudi Arabia, Dubai? It's a lot of money for British fans to fly out there all the time and to go do that. Everyone wants it in Britain. Tyson Fury and Wilder should be in Britain, but we don't live in an ideal world where. Do you know what I mean? Where that could probably happen. I hope it does happen. It could very well happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's going to be on the case of what country bids the most out of it, and who's going to have the most money out of it. And do you know what I mean? I think. Listen, I agree with all the. I agree with Bob Arum, Frank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Matchroom. They've all got the same concepts as if saying, listen, we'll do this fight wherever the most money takes it. Like you say, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua will want the most out of the earnings.
I can't see that happening.
And you know, don't you think it? Well, listen, I'll tell you something. They've got two big banana skins with them. I'll tell you something. Pulev is no mug, and where I think Joshua's a bit vulnerable.
Suspect, isn't he?
Well, I think he is. I mean, with Ruiz, he did what he had to do to win the title, but he looked very, very
shaky, didn't he? Gun shy, exactly.
And every time Ruiz was near him, it was
it was more Ruiz than Joshua. Ruiz let himself go. He didn't train properly. He off.
But I just think to myself,
hesitant.
He was very, very thinking. But maybe Joshua might need. I'll tell you what Joshua needs with his Pulev. He needs to go in there. He needs to blast him out. He needs to get his confidence back, because even though he did what he did against Ruiz, he didn't seem one bit confident in that fight. Every time Ruiz was near him, it was like, rabbit in headlights, didn't know what to do, get out and retreat and all that. Where you see with Tyson Fury, when people have gone in with him, calm, cool. I've never seen Fury panic when someone's come towards him, if he has to get out the clinch, go random and all that sort of stuff. It was, and do you know what? To be honest with you, it was new territory for Joshua, because he's fought a certain way all through his career. He's never had to fight on the back foot.
It was more Ruiz, to be honest with you. He let himself go in that fight.
100%. I thought it was disgusting how he come into that. I mean, you're the world heavyweight champion.
20 stone.
You've got to have a little bit of.
Let yourself go.
You've got to have a bit of thing with it.
Some lousy excuses after.
But the way he done Joshua, I think that he probably went in that fight overconfident, thinking, do you know what, I'm going to do the same thing. I've seen it over time and time again with fighters and all that, especially in rematches. They just think, bit overconfident. Now I'll just do the same thing.
Same thing is going to work
and
again.
And that's it. Yeah, exactly. And like we say, where we haven't seen Joshua use those tactics before, maybe Ruiz weren't prepared for that. But you should be prepared for any scenario in any fight. You can't just assume that he's going to fight that way. And you know what I mean? Like, he's going to come forward, going to do that. You just can't assume that. But you know what I mean? But yeah. Going back to that, I really, really hope that Joshua and Fury, if it does happen, because I'll tell you something, that's not a foregone conclusion. Wilder and Fury, only takes one punch from Wilder, one punch, and we've seen that.
Send him back.
And he's going to be. Do you know what? He'll probably be a man on a mission doing that. And then you got the Dillian White situation there as well?
What do you think of the Dillian White and Mark Tibbs and that leaving him?
I think it's it's an absolutely stupid move. You know what I mean?
Silly, isn't it?
Mark's a very good friend of mine. Anyway,
honourable man, isn't he? Very honourable man.
Very, very honourable man. Very, very good trainer. I don't know what their training relationship was like. Whether it was thingy. The way I hear Mark talk, he said it's a bit unconventional. And in his words, there's not a lot of trainers that would have put up with what he had to put up with. So God, I haven't ever got into that with Mark, but God knows what. You know what I mean? Maybe he was there. Maybe he was just there not to do his job for the fullest or something. Or maybe, but I can't see. Like a lot of people saying, "Oh, Mark was just there to be in the corner." Mark's got more integrity than that. There's no way he would have stood for that. But something's gone on, and I think the way they've gone about it, with if it is true what Mark's saying, the way they've gone about it, that they didn't even ring him up and tell him, and the lawyers. I think that's just a horrible.
He's been with him for 4 years. He's been with him 4 years.
Well, listen, I think he's improved on him.
100%.
Improved on him. And to be honest with you, when you in those big fights, you need Mark Tibbs and Jimmy Tibbs in your corner. People, especially, I mean, Jimmy, he's got the wealth of experience and all that. But I can't see what it is, mate. I don't know.
And then who's he chose? Who's looking after him?
Not got a clue. Not got a clue. I haven't really kept up with it.
Big fight like that, and then you.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm only saying it is what I know now, because I'm not even spoke to Mark or anything after that, so I don't even know what side. I'm just seeing exactly what's been said in interviews or on social media. And like we say, listen, there's two sides to every story. We haven't heard Dillian White's side, so until we do, we don't know. But me knowing Mark, how he is, he's an honourable man, he's a thing man, so
definitely. Something's not right
really,
there.
I would take what he said as gospel. But like you say, there's two sides to every story, so hopefully we'll be able to hear Dillian White's side of it soon. But it's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah,
absolutely.